So anyway, to conclude the Facebook thing that was going on today, I'll just go ahead and read the exchange. Hello, Guru Swamiji. Thanks for accepting my friend's request. I said, Namaste and Om. He said, your video is very nice, still watching. I said, you're most welcome. Guru Swamiji, I have a question. It's more of a social question. I can just disregard it, but it has kind of bothered me for some time. Can I ask you? I said it would have been just easier for you to ask the question versus having this back and forth. Thanks. I have read about Muktananda having some stuff with 12-year-old girls. There is a website mentioning this. Most of it was through coercion of a few kinds. I'm not saying it's true or not. What bothers me is this. In spiritual circles, people label such behavior as some avadut or mad, and it comes across as some kind of condonement of such behavior. How can a person, no matter how specialized, or I don't know how to say this, in Kundalini or energy or whatever use labeling to condone such behavior? What is your take on this? This is not reasonable, and I would say this is a social malaise in spiritual circles. I said, I'm not surprised, and this is why I haven't continued to speak out against these so-called world gurus. They are not where they claim to be. It's not being an avadut, and it's being a sexual predator, and they should be jailed immediately. These are not sanctioned anywhere on a genuine Kundalini path. I'm talking with somebody that knows a woman that was a victim of Muktananda. He said, yes, I can tell you how it has bothered me. One guru I was taking instructions from was pro-Muktananda. I reasoned on a wall, very politely within reason, and was labeled as judgmental. I'm so glad you are doing this. Where can I find your videos mentioning this? I would like to post them on my wall if that's okay with you. No one listens when an average Joe speaks, but people might listen when some guru speaks. Now, I love this. So I give him the opportunity. Let's go forward and see how this exchange continues for him. I said, hiding under the cloak of religiosity is one of the best hiding places for these predators. He said, yes, and they make it about some secretive thing. Spirituality is so unregulated, I get headaches from the Facebook posts. I said, I would be happy to have a Skype conversation with you, record it, and post it. Since nobody listens to the average Joe, but they might listen to a guru. So this opportunity is given. He said, that would be fantastic. I would do some research and frame questions. I also need to learn how to record it. Thanks so very much. I said, I just have to update the Skype recorder as my regular computer is at the store being repaired. This one is needing updates. You need to set up for video and to upload Skype if you do not have it now. If you have Skype already, what is your Skype ID? And I can put forward for contact. So he sent the Skype ID. Says he has a laptop and a camera. And I said then, he said he doesn't have a video camera. I said, you have all you need there, then it will record automatically. He says, great. Is it legally safe? I won't be sued. Now here's where we start the backpedaling at this point. I said, I just need to update the system. Yes, it's safe. Sued for what? He said, I don't know. People sue like anything. I said, Muktananda is not alive, and I speak out against Nityananda a lot. You're fine. Great. I'll do some homework and get back to you. I said, I just added you to Skype. We'll update the system now. He says, thanks for answering. Have a very good day. Namaste Om Shanti. I said, when are you going to do this? Well, I'll have to do some homework and frame some questions 1 week. I said, I thought you wanted to get this out there. Yes, but I have to feel confident with the questions. I said, I'm amazed when people ask and then want to wait so much time. All you have to do is ask the questions like it's been done now. Don't make it so complicated. Unlike Nityananda, etc., nothing is scripted here. You come, you ask, I answer. And then all of a sudden now it's no, no. I said, all's done in the flow of the moment. Well, I'm not like you, an average Joe. Don't tell me you haven't felt like me ever. I said, you came and wanted to ask questions, and am giving the opportunity to do so. This is ongoing satsang. And I thank you for that, Guruji. I have to make chapatis. I'll do it. I said, no, if somebody gave the opportunity, then would see it for what it is and either accept or walk away. By all means, go make your chapatis. Then, that's 11:28. Here it comes back at 12:55. Thanks, Swamiji. I can't do it. Please, I'm sorry. Thanks for the opportunity. Pranams. Om Shanti. I'm out of here. I go, well, this is the last opportunity that will be given. Since you decide to throw it away, apparently you have nothing more than idle curiosity at best. Idle curiosity does nothing to change the world. Please forgive me. I can't do it. I thought about it. Sorry. I said, for what reason can't you? Well, I have much fear. Please let me go with this. I thank you much. I said, and you will continue to be ruled by fear until it's challenged. And this is exactly why these types of videos need to be done. Guruji, please pardon me. I can't do it. Well, in order to break through this type of thing, as you will remain in chains until you step forward, your running and hiding solves nothing for you or anyone else. If you have compassion for those affected by these things, then step up. Be a man, not a child. It's time to come forward. He writes, OMG. Right, OMG, oh my God. I said, you keep victims in chains because your social concern is only idle curiosity. Then he says, I love this one. This is always one of my favorites. Well, you don't know how it is here. I said, really? If you had concern, you'd have enough compassion for the victims to step forward, at least that much. He said, well, you're in the U.S., a U.S. citizen, I'll get bumped real good. I said, I know exactly how it is there. I lived there for many years. So people from India, please. I've lived in India many years. I know how it is there, you know, so please don't pull this card with me. I beg to differ, you're an American too, he says, and I said, and it will remain unchanging when all have the same attitude as you are displaying now. Bottom line, that is the truth. He comes back and says, yes, you're right. Right, I'm right. And if you cared about those who were victims, at least you would ask the questions. I will, but not on video. I said nothing more was asked. I checked with my friends, not to confront them, but to ask. It's risky, it's very risky. And said, you open the door, either walk through or run away yet again. And he asked me, are you a butcher? And I said, yes, of ego. I said, running changes nothing. He said, then he comes, and I love this one. This is always a classic as well. Ego is false already. I said, that's a guru's function, to cut the head of ego and the darkness it runs. No, it's heading up your life in fear. Ego is heading up your life in fear. I said, you will never know ego is false when you allow it to run your life in fear. For don't give empty words about ego. Don't talk to me about ego is false when you're running in fear and you haven't challenged ego one iota. You only know ego is false when you've gone the whole way and broke through and gone through the death before death, and the mind has stilled into that 1 point balance of non-duality. Then he says, I said no. I said, good, then unfriend and go back to your friends for advice. Unfriend here. Can you please accept that I apologize too? I'm an Indian and respect gurus, or there's no need to talk to me this long. Please, I said, don't contact here for light. because you're asking, wanting to ask the answers. Then it gives all these question marks. I said, and then you choose the darkness. And he asked me, what are you? I said, a Satguru. He says, you unfriend me, I'll not. I said, those who seek the light should be ready for the light, rather than ask and then run to cling to darkness. Shadows will continue to rule your life when there is a chance to go forward, and it's turned down, choosing rather fear and the nonsense. Then his last quip is, you sound high, I gotta go. Thanks. So, you know, if this is your wanting to question and your responsibility, you know, you have no responsibility to anything. You're just there for idle curiosity. Please don't waste the time here. And don't put undue added karma on yourself by seeking light and then not being willing to hear it. Not being willing to stand up for it. Because if you're in the dark and you don't know the light, that's one thing. But if you know the light and you turn your back on it, then you're accountable to it. That's the way it works. You know, if you choose the darkness willingly, then it's not a good position to put yourself in. And things will not change in India until people start to stand up. Excuse me. I'm still getting over that virus thing and the voice is still coming in and out. But again, gurus keep people in fear. People are in fear of them. They don't know what are the true teachings. He must have been with Muktananda, no matter how much he says he wasn't a victim, because Muktananda had them read the Guru Gita every day. And in the Guru Gita it says if you misplace, you know, if you misspeak to a Swami, etc., you'll be in hell realms for like eons, etc. So again, he's grooming them, putting this fear in them, and this is how these gurus continue, quote unquote gurus, they're not gurus, they're predators, stay in these positions and people don't come forward. And this is again why I do so many of these in support of these women that actually do finally come forward, because it's a lot for them to come forward. You know, and if the Indian men, I'm sorry, if you cannot support the women, it will never change. Then you're part of the problem, not the solution. So don't ever play the card, well, you don't know how it is in India. Yes, I do. I deal with Indians every day. I've lived in there for a number of years. I know exactly what's there. I know the social structure. I know the problems that are there. I know the attitudes that are there. I have dealt with it. I have lived with it. Okay? I've lived in sadhu community, wandering sadhu. I've lived in, you know, I know what's there from the bottom to the top of the social structure. I'm not sitting in an ivory tower here that I've never been there, that I don't know. Unfortunately, I do know. And I'm not one of the deluded ones that thinks, you know, that India is this high place with great knowledge and everybody there is so spiritual. Well, they're not. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad tidings. They're running in fear. They do pujas for give me a son, give me good business, give me, give me, give me, give me. They're not asking for light. They're not asking for enlightenment. Okay? For the most part. It's the way it is. Okay? But again, you know, they have a little bit of knowledge, and that's a dangerous thing. When you're standing for truth, There's nothing to fear. Okay? You should fear when you want to continue to submit to the darkness. And you want to allow that fear to continue to rule your life, because you will never get out from under it until you are willing to finally challenge it and step forward. It will continue to rule your life. And these predatory gurus will continue to stay in their positions of power because no one will challenge them. You want it to change? Then be part of the solution and not part of the problem. It took a lot for R.T. Rao to come forward. It took a lot for Lenin to come forward. It took a lot for these people to come forward. And if nobody's willing to be there to back them up, then what a sad, sad thing that is. Okay? So you want the predatory things to end. You want to ask about it. Okay, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to give the answers. I'm willing to, share what's there and what's not. But idle banter does nothing. Okay? I've got a petition to rescind Nityananda's bail. Has any signed it? Very few. Mainly just the students on this path. And a couple others. So, as much as you say you want the change and you're worried about social things, I don't see people stepping up. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. And it won't change until people are willing to come forward and do more than push a button and say, I have a question, and sit behind their computer screens and do nothing. Okay. Okay. Most of the genuine gurus, I guarantee they are not world gurus. They do not have huge followings. Why? Because they're not after the name and the fame. Because they actually care about people and give their time for that. Because they work one-to-one. They get to know who they're working with. It's not about numbers. It's not about how many you have. It's not about numbers. It's about getting clarity and clarification to those that you can. Not spouting the most popular beliefs of the day, because then you'll be well liked. Okay? But if you're really working to make change, it's going to rub against society, because they're not going to want to hear where it needs to change to become better. That's the truth of it. So, okay, well, we had it your way. You weren't on camera, okay? But we'll make sure what you wanted to say is out there. Now, what a sad situation. You had the opportunity to have as many questions as you want, to explore this as deeply as you wanted. And your choice was to stay hidden. So I hope from now on your friends have good and valuable help for you, because you've burned this bridge yet again. Sorry. But if you can't stand up in any way, shape, or form, you're not ready for a guru. You're just not. Buy another ticket to the movie theater. Go have some popcorn and do whatever it is you're going to do. But it's not social change. It's not becoming a part of the solution. Okay. And that's it for this. It's very sad when these types of videos have to be put out. a guru, you know, takes on this mantle to see change. So that's that. And change doesn't happen by coddling people and holding their hands and say, I'm in fear, and let you lay there in fear. That's not benefiting you. It's not benefiting you whatsoever. And I'm here to benefit. I'm not here to keep you in chains. I want to see people break out of their chains and to stand on their feet and become humans, become more than slaves to these emotional fears and dramas that they create in soap operas they continue to run their lives around. So I wish all well. I hope somebody gets something out of this. Maybe people will think before they contact me on Facebook, and that's fine too. You know, never contact a guru if you don't want to hear the answers, because you may not like what you get back. Okay? Because I'm not out to be a popular guru to soothe and comfort and pamper you. You know, I'm here to help people cut the head of ego, to get beyond the shackles they have themselves in, to get them out of bondage and off the wheel of karma. Okay? That's the function. So namaste.